Good morning students. Welcome to Royal Palace College online classes. So till last class we are discussing some bits on hybridization and the different concepts, optical activity and all. Now let's continue with the same bits. That is the IUPAC name of compound. So this compound is given to us CH2 CH2 and on each carbon there is one CN group. There is one CN group, cyanide group. So basically, if only one cyanide group is there in the total chain, you can consider that carbon in counting. But here, 3 cyanide groups are there. So what happens now? If I consider this cyanide group in the counting, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will become 5-member carbon chain with the other cyanide group as a substituent group. But is this cyanide group and this cyanide group, are these two are different? No, they are same cyanide only. Is this cyanide group and this cyanide group, are these two are different? No. All the 3 groups are of equal priority, means all are cyanides only. You cannot take this one as main function group, this one as substituent function group. You should not say 3 cyano 1,5 pentane dinitrile, that is wrong, because this is also nitrile group only, this is also cyanide only. So whenever such kind of situations arises, what we consider here is all the 3 groups must be given same priority. So the parent chain is reduced to 3 carbons only. The parent chain, instead of considering 5 carbons, now you should consider 3 carbons, because you should give equal priority to all the same functional groups. So numbering you do anyhow, it will come 1, 2, 3 only. 1, 2, 3 propane trinitrile will be the IUPAC name, or 1, 2, 3 tricyanopropane. Okay. So where is the option given? 3 cyanopropane, 1, 2, 1, 5 dinitrile, 1, 2, 3 propane nitrile, 1, 2, 3 propane nitrile they said, but they did not use the word tri. So this is wrong. Propane tricarbylamine, it is wrong. 1, 2, 3 tricyanopropane is the actual IUPAC name of the compound. So option D is correct. Next question is hyperconjugation effect is also known as option A Baker-Nathan effect, no bond resonance, A and B, none of these. First of all, I said you hyperconjugation means shifting of sigma CH electrons adjacent to a positive charge or adjacent to any unsaturation. So what will happen here in hyperconjugation? I am saying this hyperconjugation effect. Okay. So whenever sigma CH electrons are present adjacent to positive charge or unsaturation, this charge it is balanced by shifting of sigma CH electrons between these 2 carbons. So I can write this structure like this: carbon, one hydrogen. Here, since this electron shifted, double bond, carbon, one hydrogen here, one more hydrogen here. This hydrogen as it is. Now, since the bonded pair of electrons is given to this position, the hydrogen acquires positive charge, H plus. Next, what can happen is all these three hydrogens are same. So any of these hydrogen can give the bond pair. So next resonance structure we can write like this. This goes back, it will give the double bond. So I write like this: CH, H, double bond, CH, H. Now this hydrogen carries positive. Again, what can happen? This can give the electrons to it and it will come back here. So this is like a continuous shifting of sigma CH electrons between these two carbon atoms. Between these two carbon atoms. Again, it can be resonated to the original structure. So this type of effect is called hyperconjugation. Sigma CH electrons shifting towards either positive charge or towards unsaturation is called hyperconjugation. So now this effect, this hyperconjugation was studied by Bacon-Nathan. So it is also called as, this hyperconjugation is also called as Bacon-Nathan effect. It is also called as no bond resonance. See, this is all resonance structures, means they are all equivalent. And you see in these structures, there is no bond between carbon and this hydrogen. There is no bond between this carbon and this hydrogen. There is no bond between this carbon and this hydrogen. So this is also commonly called no bond resonance also. So the answer is A and B, both, option C. So this is hyperconjugation, shifting of sigma CH electrons. Shifting of sigma CH electrons is hyperconjugation. Okay. Next question is, during the reaction, I am writing the reaction here. CH3 C double bond O NH2 in the presence of phosphorus pentoxide P2O5 produces CH3Cn. Hybridization state of carbon changes from. Hybridization state of the carbon changes from. So this carbon you look at. Okay. P2O5 is a dehydrating agent, means it will remove water. These two hydrogens, this oxygen is removed as water. So, after this reaction, what will happen to hybridization state of the carbon, they are asking. I said you to recognize the hybridization state, first count the number of sigma bonds around the carbon. Here how many sigma bonds are there? 1, okay, 2, 3. 3 sigma bonds means it is under which hybridization? I said you if 3 sigma bonds are there, then the hybridization state of the carbon is sp2. Look at this carbon. This carbon. Now this carbon, it is containing how many sigma bonds? Here 1 and here 1. Remaining 2 are pi bonds in this. So 2 sigma bonds means what is the hybridization state? sp hybridization state. So what is happening in this reaction? sp2 hybridized carbon changes to sp carbon. So the answer is sp2 changing to sp. Answer. Okay. Next. The enolic form of acetone contains. The enolic form of acetone contains. Now, acetone is Acetone is CH3 C double bond to CH3. Once we talked about in the previous or the classes keto-enol tautomerization. What I said to you is this pi bond can shift here and one of the hydrogens on the carbon okay, if this is shifting there, what will happen now? CH3 CO minus it will become, and here positive charge is acquired, this will become like this now. So what will happen here? This bond pair is shifted here and the proton taken by the oxygen. So I can write like this: CH3 COH and here double bond CH2. This is enol. I said to you, enol means one double bond, one alcohol group is there. So this is ketone form, this is enol form. Now the question is, enol form of acetone contains, enolic form of acetone contains how many sigma bonds, how many pi bonds, and how many lone pairs they are asking. Now you see, oxygen with 2 bonds means remaining 2 will be lone pair. Here one lone pair on oxygen and here one lone pair. So there are 2 lone pairs on oxygen. Okay. So 2 lone pairs are given in option A and B. Now let us check for the next one. Here 3 sigma bonds, 3 hydrogens. 3 plus 1 4 plus 1 5 plus 1 6 7 8 9. So totally 9 sigma bonds. 5 hydrogens, 5 sigma, 1 more hydrogen. How many? 6 sigma. 6 sigma plus this bond, this bond, this bond. 6 plus 3 9. So 9 sigma bonds are there. Okay. 1 pi bond is there and 2 lone pairs are there. So the answer is option is A. 9 sigma, 1 pi bond, 2 lone pair. Okay. Next. IUPAC name of the compound is IUPAC name of this compound they are asking. Benzene ring is given. On the benzene ring, one chlorine group, chlorine alpha position given nitro group, and chlorine para position given methyl group. Methyl group is given. Okay. So this is the compound given to us, and they want IUPAC name of the compound. IUPAC name of compound. Now you should remember, according to IUPAC nomenclature, alkyl groups, halogen group, nitro group, all are considered as least priority groups. Okay. So least priority groups means here, then we should go for alphabetical order, and alphabetical order that too followed by least sum rule also. That means chloro is C, nitro N, methyl M. Okay. If I follow this type of numbering, see, if I start with C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then what will be the least sum rule? 1 plus 4 plus 6. 1, 4, 6 means 11 it will become, right? But if I go through in this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1 plus 2 plus 4, okay, means 7. So which is correct numbering? This way of numbering is correct. So even though M and N are in the alphabetical order, actually first M should come then N, but all are least priority groups. So you are starting with chloro only, there is no doubt. But since nitro is in between chloro and methyl, it is necessary to follow the least sum rule also. So according to least sum rule, you should follow this number. So now let us check out that. So what will be the IUPAC name? According to alphabetical order, you should again write means 1 chloro, 4 methyl 2 nitrobenzene. Okay? Chloro, methyl, nitro. All are least priority groups only. Okay? So that means option is D. Option B, 1 chloro, 4 methyl, 2 nitrobenzene. Next question is, a compound having n dissimilar asymmetric carbon atoms can exist in stereoisomers equal to. Basically, stereoisomers can be calculated by a formula. Number of stereoisomers is given by the formula 2 power n. It is given by formula 2 power n, where n stands for number of asymmetric centers. Number of asymmetric carbons or chiral carbons. So the formula is 2 power n. It is directly formula to calculate number of stereoisomers. So what is the formula? 2 power n. Next, mesotartaric acid is optically inactive because of. Now yesterday we were talking about, in the previous class we were talking about tartaric acid. I have written the structure like this, if you remember. I said you this is a D-tartaric acid. Another form I can write like this. This is L-tartaric acid. This is L-tartaric acid. And what is now meso? Meso means both the chiral carbons should have same configuration. Okay? Means one should have opposing configuration. Means if I write one carbon like this, so if I write like this, one H here, one H here, one OH here and one OH here, then according to the priority numbering, here acid group is first number on this carbon, alcohol will be second number, priority. Here first priority, here second priority. So here rotation of the light takes place in this way. Rotation of light. Okay, 1, 2 direction. So if the rotation is like this means here it is going in anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means L. Here if you observe this 1, 2, it is coming like this. It is clockwise, means it is a D rotation, L rotation. So if one carbon rotates the light in clockwise direction and if the adjacent carbon is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, then both of these rotations, optical activities get cancelled. That compound, that particular term is called meso. Meso means here asymmetric carbons are there and the number of asymmetric carbons with D configuration are equal to the number of asymmetric carbons with L configuration. So such type of condition is called meso condition. So in mesotartaric acid there is no optical activity because D configuration cancel L configuration optical activity. So optical activity is 0 here. Why it is optically inactive they are asking? Because of this is called internal compensation. Internal compensation means inside the molecule, within the same molecule, if one carbon atom cancels the optical activity of another carbon atom, then such type of optical inactivity is called meso condition. Meso. Okay? So the answer is internal compensation, internal compensation. Next, number of chiral carbons in. So we have a compound here, CH3, CH, CH2, CH3, C double bond O, CH3 is given to us. They are asking number of chiral carbons. What I said to chiral carbons, if a carbon is surrounded by 4 different groups, then it is called chiral. Is this carbon 4 different groups? No. So this is not chiral. Here 2 same groups? No. Here 3 same groups? No. Here also no. Here also double bond? No. But this carbon you observe, this carbon contains one hydrogen group, one methyl group, one ethyl group, and one ketone type of group is present. That means this carbon is surrounded by 4 different groups. So how many chiral carbons are there? Only one chiral carbon is there in this compound. So the answer is only 1. Okay? So thank you for now. We'll continue in the next class.